Personal branding. So it seems that this is the buzzword that is going around, but I'm going to talk about why you need a personal brand, how it helps you with your business, and what it isn't. You're going to be surprised because it isn't what you think it is. Welcome to the Brand Bridge, the podcast that's all about branding, entrepreneurship, faith, mindset, all the things that you need to build a compromise-free brand. My name is Melissa, and today we are talking about building a personal brand, what it is, how it helps you be aligned and stay aligned with your mission, your vision, and the people that you feel called to serve, and how it helps you grow your business and create community. So a personal brand is, and I think that I have a different point of view and perspective on this compared to maybe some other brand strategists. And I've heard other strategists talk about what a personal brand is. And I've heard other bigger names talk about what a personal brand is. But I have a very particular point of view and outlook about this because I believe that a personal brand is not about what you do. A personal brand isn't about how many businesses you have. It isn't about the offer that you have. It isn't about the things that you're doing in your career. It's actually not about that, but it is about who you are. A personal brand is about who you are. And that is expressed through what you're doing. But at the end of the day, that's what a personal brand is. It's about who you are, and it's not about your offers, and it's not about any of those things. And you might be saying, now, like, what's the point then of building a personal brand if I don't become known for this thing, if I don't become known as the best life coach in the world, if I don't become known as the best XYZ? A personal brand is about connection. And especially this day and age, they say that we're going through a trust recession, which is true. It is getting harder for people to trust people online, especially, people are using AI for this and for that. And sometimes you don't know, even if the video that you're watching is a real person or the thing that coach wrote or that person wrote is actually them, or did they just get AI to write it all for them? This is why your personal brand matters. It's because it is the heart of what you do. Your personal brand is about who you are. And that connection is the thing that's going to bring people into your world, into your ecosystem, into your community. Because when you're expressing yourself and you're showing your real, your raw, your authentic, your point of view, your perspective, the right people are going to see that and they're going to connect to that. That's what they're going to connect to first. They're not going to connect to the fact that you are a life coach, that you're a brand strategist, that you or a consultant, or you do websites or whatever it is. They're not going to connect to you through that. That might be the thing that they're looking for help with, but the choice to work with you is going to come down to who you are. Why are they going to trust you? Why are they going to choose you? They're going to choose you because of your personal brand. Your personal brand represents your mission, your vision, what you value, what you believe. And it's the North Star to the choices you are going to make for your business, the things that you say yes to and the things that you say no to. And a personal brand is very important for that. It's the foundation of your business. It really is, because when you know what you believe, when you know where you want to go, you can communicate that better when you're clear. And the right people are going to be like, you know what? I want to support her on her journey. And support can look like all different types of things. It doesn't always have to be financial or monetary. It could be just showing up to the things that you're involved in. It could look like referring someone to you that maybe is going to help you grow your community and make a bigger impact. Maybe it looks like clients and customers that are going to believe and align to what you're doing and want to work with you because they're going to say, yeah, I really love the way that she thinks. I really love the way that she looks at things. Very similar to me. And so that's the important thing about building a personal brand is that's going to become more clear, more visible to people, and they are going to connect with that. Long gone are the days when you could just put up a few social media posts and people will go crazy and people will be like, oh yeah, I want to work with you. I want to work with you. Now, because there's so much choice, because there's so much information, you have to go beyond just giving information, beyond just educating, beyond just saying all the features. You really have to be dialed in to who you are and sharing that. It is also about the transformation and the message that you have. And again, I'm not just talking about your offer. I'm talking about what is it that you've experienced and now you want to help people avoid that. You want to bring some relief. You want to give some hope to people who are struggling, to people who, whatever it is that you have on your heart to do. You have a mission, you have an assignment, you have a calling and a purpose. And that's the thing that people are going to connect to because they're going to see your heart. They're going to see that you are true, that you are genuine, that you have integrity. And that is above all the most important thing right now in this day and age. It's harder for people to trust nowadays because there's just information and businesses and brands everywhere. So they have to have something that's connecting them. There has to be trust there. And trust can be built really quickly, or it could take time. But I just want to encourage you to know that if you want a business for a long time, put in the work, be intentional, show up for yourself and for your audience. And we always want to be in a rush for things. We always want this and that, but we have to know that the skills and the things that we're developing, they take time. They take time for it to be at a certain standard. Now, when I first started my business, yeah, I wasn't, an expert yet, but I was building skills. And the more that I worked, the more that I studied, the more that I interacted with people, the more that I learned from coaches and mentors, and then worked with more clients and more clients, I developed the skills and I decided to really narrow in on brand because it's such an important piece that people a lot of times don't realize they need. If they don't have that in place, it makes everything else basically not work because you don't know who your clients are. You don't know what your message is. You don't know why your business exists. You don't know what you value, you believe, and what you want to be associated with. All of these things happen at the foundation. And so when we think about, well, I want to work with these kind of people and this is my offer, and then we try to sell, sometimes we feel disconnected because we haven't really got to the heart of, but what is it? What specifically is it that my ideal clients need? What do they want? What is that relief that they're looking for? What are the emotions around that? All of this happens at the brand level. The brand is the heart of your business. It's where the emotion is. It's where your personal why is. And it's also the why of your business, why your business exists. So this is why having a personal brand and being intentional is really important. Because if you ever decide to do something else, you pivot, you rebrand, or whatever it is, if you have a strong personal brand, or if you decide to start another business or another 10 businesses, when you have a strong personal brand, people are going to support you because they support you. It's not that they want to support your life coaching business. They want to support you. And so when they see that, oh, you're a life coach, but now you're also selling shoes, like it's not going to look so wild because they're going to understand the heart of why you're doing what you do. And you might think, well, Mel, like life coaching shoes are very not, one's like dealing with the heart, one's a commodity. But there's going to be a reason. There's going to be a reason that connects. And that's why you see a lot of multi-passionate people who are doing all kinds of businesses, but they all make sense if you get to the heart of what their story is, their experience, the things that they love, the people they feel called to serve. You're going to see a connection. And that's what brand is. Brand, your personal brand is going to connect all of these pieces, even if they don't look like they belong together. So that's essential for your business, because if you want to grow and you want to expand and you want to do something slightly different or change or whatever it is, if you have a strong personal brand, which means you know what you value, you know what you believe, you know why you're showing up, you know who you are, and you want to express that through your business or businesses, then that is going to be a beautiful thing and it's going to be key. But you have to know what your brand is and you have to be intentional. Intention, intention, intention. Intention, integrity, trust, values, all of these things are key to growing a personal brand. You know, I saw a video recently and it was Steve Jobs, and he was talking about in marketing how it's all about values. When you can see what a brand values, that makes a deeper connection. Just think about the brands that you love. Think about some of the brands that are so famous now, you know, Nike and all of these things. Yes, they make shoes. It's a commodity, but you know that they're trying to inspire people. They're trying to encourage people. They're trying to bring health, and they're trying to bring awareness of that you don't have to be an athlete to be athletic. So all of these things that they want people to know, it's like you can just show up with the same gear that the top players are playing with, and you can make your own experience. That is such a beautiful thing, and that's why Nike is Nike and does well. Even Apple too. Apple, if you go on their Instagram, there's no phones anywhere. It's all pictures. Why? Because they're showing you what's possible. And that is very powerful when you can and be encouraged in your own creativity and your own imagination. It's a very powerful thing. So look at some of these big brands and realize that, okay, wow, they're just not talking about, oh, look, my shoes are the best, I have the best shoes, I have the best phone, we're the best. No, they're not even talking about the products half of the time. They're talking about what's possible. And that is what your personal brand is. It shows people your heart. It shows people what is possible. It shows people hope. It shows people whatever it is that your message is. My message is all about identity. My message is who you are is more important than what you do, because what you do is only influenced by who you are. And there are thousands of strategists, there's thousands of coaches and web designers and this and that and whatever it is, there's thousands, but nobody is you. And your story, your experience, the things that you value, believe, that's going to shape how you show up, and that's going to shape who is connected and drawn to you when you make that clear. And when people can see that in your content, in your marketing, and the things in your videos, your podcast, whatever it is that you have. That's the thing that people are going to see. They're going to see your heart, and that's the connection piece. The connection is about emotion. We look with our emotion first and then our logic. I did an episode which is about my ERA framework, which stands for emotion, rationale, and action. Go have a look in the podcast episodes and watch it, because that's more about the psychology of buying. But it's true, we are seeing with our heart first before the logic kicks in and we make a decision. So be intentional with your brand. Be intentional with what you're sharing and how you're showing up. If you want to have a business for a long time, then you have to think long term. You have to think that, and don't be in a rush. Don't be in a rush. Learn, grow, enjoy, have fun. If you're not having fun in your business, then why do you have a business? There's no point. I don't think there's a point. If you're not having fun growing your business, if you're not working with people who are firing you up, who are challenging you, who are making you better with every step of the way, who are just a joy to work with, who when they signed up with you, there was no red flags. If you're not enjoying your business, then I would say just take a step back and look and see, am I aligned still? Like, I started one place, but am I still going in that direction? You should be enjoying your business. Life is for having fun too, and joy, and bringing joy and experiencing joy and abundance and peace and being filled and fulfilled. So I hope that this has cleared things up for you, that your brand is about who you are. So thank you again for joining. If you have any questions, any comments, leave them in the comment section. And while you're in the comment section, have a look at my brand clarity assessment quiz. It's only a couple minutes, but it'll show you right now what your next step should be in building a clearer brand and showing up with more intention. And like I always say, live with heart, lead with purpose, and do both compromise free. I'll see you next time. Bye. Oh my goodness. I just recorded this whole thing and I forgot to hit record. Oh! Oh my goodness. Okay, am I recording? Oh. Okay. It was for a reason. It was for a reason. Maybe it could have just went a bit smoother. I don't know. But here we go. We're going to start. Now we're starting. Now we're recording. La vie est belle. Everything is good. Okay, let's start. Oh.